Robot Wars, the pioneer of mechanized mayhem on television. For 20 years we have watched these machines grow, evolve, and bash the living daylights out of each other in the process. Making its triumphant return after a 12-year absence, the show continues to enthrall a new generation and bring us the sport at its most refined. Join us for our own celebration as we take a look back at our journey from being superfans to appearing on the show and learn the ropes of being a roboteer. Along the way, we will be joined by other stars of the show from past and present to offer their advice.
I was absolutely thrilled to find out the robot show.
Fantastic, this is it, this is the childhood dream back again.
People don't really get this sense of scale that is the production of Robot Wars.
Why not build something radio controlled and smash things up with it? You know, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's just what I want to do.
Can't describe why I wanted to be involved. I just knew that I had to be involved.
So come with us as we commemorate 20 years of the UK's one and only robotic fighting show and celebrate the reactivation of Robot Wars. San Francisco, 1994. After one man has the initial idea of building a radio-controlled vacuum cleaner, the sport of robotic fighting was brought to life. Model maker Mark Thorpe, who worked on some of the most astonishing miniatures and effects in motion picture history, including Indiana Jones, Batteries Not Included, Star Wars, and Ghostbusters, set up the first ever Robot Wars competition in the Fort Mason Centre. From this came the creation of a show that would define my childhood. It would be the foundation of a technological and televisual revolution.
Mark Thorpe, the godfather and creator of Robot Wars.
I had this idea for a radio-controlled vacuum cleaner. The idea was to make vacuuming fun. In any case, I bought myself a tank, mount a battery-powered, act like a dustbuster on the tank. And so when I gave up trying to hustle that idea, I thought, what do I do with this tank now? So I thought about putting power tools on it, battery-powered power tools. The best way to approach that idea was to stage an event and invite other people to participate. And I got like 17 entries. Well, it was huge. And I had really no experience doing that at the time. Steve Carsey came over to see Robot Wars, I think the next year, with a format, keying off my first event, which had a house robot. I had a house robot built because I wanted to have something that I thought would be definitely exciting. It was big. It was way bigger than any of the other competitors. He brought this format. We put on a kind of a makeshift show there for the guy who was head of BBC at the time. They just took it from there, made it into a TV show.
Hi, I'm Craig, and this is Ante, beating the outweight competition. It's got a little lifter, it's going to throw everyone out the arena.
So I first heard about the show when I was about 12 years old, and the after-school engineering club that I was part of was sent the original information pack for the very, very first Robot Wars. We watched a video of these incredible RC cars destroying each other. I mean, that's all they really were. I think it was the 95 or the 96 Robot Wars in San Francisco. I was hooked. I was instantly sold on the idea, and that's all I ever wanted to do from there on in. It was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, this is it. This is it.
I saw their version of more of an entertainment property, whereas I intended the event to be a sport.
And now on BBC Two, Robot Wars.
And so, on the 20th of February 1998, the sport of robotic fighting found its way onto mainstream television.
I think that the first thing I remember seeing was an advert in the Radio Times saying the show was coming on. I watched the first run of the show. I thought, oh, this is brilliant. There's got to be a second series. I'll have a word with my mates, see about building one. We'll have a laugh. You know. So we did, basically.
I sat down. I think The Simpsons was on before it, and there it was. It was Robot Wars. And I watched Roadblock go through the gauntlet, and I was like, it's real. It's not just is not just a thing that they said the information pack. It's a real thing. I turned an old shelving unit into a robot, and I put 2 drill motors in for drive, and that was probably within about 20 minutes of the show finishing. The very first episode of the very first show, we had the bits of a robot coming together.
It just also had quite a nice kind of raw feel to it. Obviously the show nowadays is very slick and polished, but back then you could see it was obviously the first time they're doing everything. Things would work, things wouldn't work, and it just had a uniqueness about it which it just makes it all the more special.
We started off as fans, we bought the toys, and it did take us long until then we started getting involved and we're like, yeah, this is something we definitely want to be involved in.
Robot Wars scared the hell out of me the first time I saw it, because it was on after The Simpsons and I sort of stumbled across it as a young boy, and I remember watching it and they introduced Sir Kill-A-Lot. I remember just being so freaked out. I was like, no, this isn't a show for me, this is a show for older boys. But I ended up watching it again a couple of series after that. I think it was the Third Wars. I definitely remember watching Razor versus Backstabber, and I just started finding it cool. I thought, oh wow, this is really interesting, it's a unique show. And plus the robots kind of look like toys, and obviously I was a big toy fan as a kid. Some things never change.
10 horses more powerful than you.
Yeah, well, John Wayne had 10 horses too, didn't he?
Yeah, and he was,
Muppet.
Right, okay.
You see it on TV, don't you? The can you build a robot? Can you do this? Can you? I thought, well, actually, yeah, I can. I'll give that a go. So I did.
I liked it because I'm the type of person, I love building stuff. I love building and getting it all perfect, and then going, right, what's the next project I can do?
I love the show because it's such a simple premise. You get a robot, you put it in an arena against another robot, and you just watch them fight, and then one of them wins and moves on, the other one loses. It's such a simple concept, and yet it works brilliantly.
It really hit on a lot of things for me. I mean, I love the carnage of it all, obviously, but I also just love the showmanship. It was this great way of showing your creativity. You know, if you wanted to build anything as a robot, you could.
No one at my school watched it. All the boys would go play football. I had no real interest in football or sports of any kind. So Robot Wars became this little kind of safety net for me. Like when I had nothing, I had Robot Wars. And obviously that moved on to building the little cardboard models and stuff, and I built so many of those as a kid. Like I built so many, I was able to have my own Robot Wars. And I just don't mean a couple of fights. I mean I put together full series of Robot Wars.
And everyone else was playing football or the latest trend that was going at the time. The thing I loved about it was just in my wee corner building the robot.
To see Robot Wars go off the air, it just felt like such a crying shame. And for years I would always check TV guides and go, when's it coming back? When are they doing another series? I would check Channel 5 and BBC 2 and go, come on, when's the next series? And it just never happened. So that's what led to me putting together the Bring Back Robot Wars documentary in 2012. There was no real sort of anniversary or anything like that to celebrate. It was literally just, this is such a unique and fascinating and creative show. There's nothing like this on TV, and I know for a fact that the live events are still going strong to this day. The sport has never been more popular. This needs to be on television again.
On YouTube there was a person called Stephen McCullough, Votesaxon07, he done a video, and I love the fact that there's somebody else out there who was passionate as much as I was. Because where I live, there's not that many people like Robot Wars or know about it. So I got brave enough to send him a message to come onto a podcast to talk about it. And me and Stephen become really good friends.
Actually being on Robot Wars was the childhood dream that I never thought was possible. Like me and my dad used to sit on Friday nights and watch the episodes together, and he really got into it as well. And we always talked about, hey, maybe we should build a robot and go into this, but obviously he didn't have any electronic experience. I certainly didn't know the first thing about building a robot at the time. So it was just nice to sit there and dream that maybe one day it'll happen. And then obviously the show went off air, so I thought, this is never going to happen in a million years. I couldn't have been more wrong. Little did we know, but behind the scenes, plans were in motion to revive the show for BBC Two. And on the 13th of January 2016, the announcement came that Robot Wars was back.
I had absolutely fantastic news. I was I was absolutely thrilled to find out the robot was coming back, to the point where I almost didn't believe it.
Got a phone call through. This is not a joke. We're bringing back Robot Wars. Would you like to build a robot and enter? And I thought, I'd love to.
We just kind of got the notification and the nod from the Robo Challenge guys and my brother and different people that this was going to be happening, that Robot Wars was going to be coming back.
This is it, this is the childhood dream back again. And then to top it all off, I found out it was being filmed in Glasgow.
I checked my phone, and the first thing on BBC News was Robot Wars getting rebooted. I almost had an out-of-body experience. I couldn't believe Robot Wars was coming back.
I was so excited. I was just so excited. I remember the applications came out that day, and so there was an email address with a form that you had to fill in. And I got the form, and I filled it in. I spent the afternoon at work on the computer doing paperwork, and I was just filling in the stuff for Foxic, and I was like, send. I took pictures of it. I was like, yes, we're going to do this. It's going to be amazing.
The new series was a hit, with the first episode alone attracting over 2 million viewers. We loved its new style, presenters and competitors, but we hadn't even the slightest idea of what was about to happen next.
So one of the competitors in Series 8 was Foxic, and I really fell in love with it, and wanted my own wee mini version of it. And Craig Danby had put up a video of a miniature robot, and that was my first time I ever was introduced into Antmates, because I didn't really know much about them. And I remember messaging him, and I remember him turning around saying, yeah, you can get, Alex can make custom Antmates, which was a very awkward moment because I didn't realise who Alex was from Team Nuts at the time. And when I received it, I finally got Rusty for the first time. I absolutely fell in love with it. And around about this time, I was in the middle of talking to Shane, and I sent a video of it to Shane first, which was nice to get his input from it, but I knew for a fact it wasn't really good at reviewing stuff. And around about this time, you were looking to start reviewing different things, and
absolutely,
I was like,
anything and everything Robot Wars I wanted
the
to make a
thing
video
that
on.
I really liked, it was like, I love to give the robot for you to review because you can do in-depth reviews, but it was also for that little feeling that like, oh, I can sit back now and watch my robot being reviewed. So when Rusty got reviewed, the next thing was Shane had messaged saying, is it possible to get in contact with Stephen to do a review of my robot? Which I almost died.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, so hang on, you want me to review a heavyweight robot?
Yeah.
How would I even fit that on my stage?
I know.
What Shane had done was he'd messaged me and went, look, the only proper way I can see you reviewing Push to Exit is if you come along to the Series 9 filming as members of Team S-Tech. Being part of the media relations, I think he called us. So off we went to Glasgow to Robot Wars, which was just such a whirlwind.
I still couldn't process it till we were on the plane. And I was like, we've literally just been talking to Shane online, and now we're on a plane heading to Glasgow. Is this real? Is this actually happening?
Welcome to Scotland.
I was expecting when we first got there for the warehouse to have like a big banner saying Robot Wars, and it didn't, and I was like, oh, and it was like foggy, really, really foggy, so you're going, oh god. But like,
are we sure this was Shane Swan?
The scary one was a taxi driving off and just disappearing
into the fog.
Oh, we're on our own.
We're just waiting for Pyramid Head to show up at this point.
Yes.
Like
so
it was like, proper Silent Hill.
It was. But then there he appears.
Good morning.
Long last we meet. How's it going? How's it going, Anthony?
How you doing?
I presume.
Mr. McCullough.
How you doing?
How was it, Anthony?
Yes.
Elizabeth. How the devil are you?
Great.
Welcome. Did you have a good journey?
No.
That's fantastic.
It was alright.
Alright. That's great to see you guys. It's good to see you live.
I know. Here we are.
Look. Yeah, you're here.
I know you from television.
Look what I've got for you.
Wait.
Look what I have. So, which colour? Which colour would you like?
I'll go for the neon orange.
Neon orange?
Yeah,
there you go.
There we are.
You have to stick these on. That one, Anthony? Do you want me to
you.
put that? Do you want me to film putting it on you? Look. There you go. Are you looking forward to it?
I am buzzing for this one.
Yeah, of course you are.
Now that we had met our team captain in the flesh, it was time to finally enter Robot Wars for real. Shane took us through a side door of the warehouse, and suddenly there it was. The official Robot Wars pits. The feeling was just indescribable.
It's such a buzz and such an operation. You're walking in, there's massive amount of crew, staff, runners, huge lighting rigs, cameras going around. It's such a massive production that people don't really get this sense of scale that is the production of Robot Wars. It's a huge operation that costs millions of pounds, and there's just so many people involved in it. You literally see a fraction on the TV of all the people that are involved in that production. It's a huge operation. It's incredible to fulfill part of it.
I just remember being absolutely blown away. Just the size of the warehouse was immense, and I just remember walking in and thinking, this is it. This is a childhood dream that I've wanted to achieve, and here I am standing in the Robot Wars pits. I mean, obviously it wasn't quite the same as the old show. It's hard to know without having been involved with the old show what the pits were like there, but just this was my generation of competing. Yeah, it was just phenomenal. No other words to describe it.
I was 13, 14 years old when I first actually got into the pits. You end up with this really bad imposter syndrome where the people around you, you've seen them on TV, you're like, oh my god, that's so-and-so, oh that's Rob Knight and Arthur Chilcott, and I was like, oh that's Rex Garrard, and I'm like, oh this is amazing. And you end up standing in the pits with somebody called Kim and his box yellow robot, and you're like, oh wow, so what does yours do? And you start talking about robots, and then he goes on and wins the show. But that was at the auditions. It wasn't yellow at that point, you hadn't painted it, but meeting people at the auditions and then seeing them years later as the superstars of the show, it's a weird feeling, and it feels even stranger when you meet them years and years later, and their recollection of those events is very different. Because I'm like, oh, I was terrified, I had no idea what I was doing, and they're like, yeah, me too. It's like, you won Robot Wars, how can you not know what you were doing?
The first thing I seen was the lasers, the green lasers just moving, and I was like, oh my god, I'm here.
For me, it was the white lights at the pit benches.
Yeah.
Just because I walked in and I saw it, and it looked like I was watching an episode of Robot Wars, but from really far away.
The first time we actually met was Alex and Rory. They were just getting ready to pack the robot away. They were, yeah. And it was so nice to finally say, like, Alex, thank you so much for making my dream come true to own my own little robot. So after we had our moments walking around the pits and seeing all these amazing machines, we got to go to our table, and there's Push to Exit just sitting there. And from what Shane was telling us, we got knocked out of the battle, the qualifier battle. We were expecting
hit by a spinner.
Yeah, when we heard that, we were like, right, okay, it's going to be total. It's going to be just
I was expecting a massive gash through the side of it.
Yeah. And there it was, and I was sitting there going, where's the damage? And then he's like, this bit and this bit. It's like, in a bit for me personally, I was relieved, because oh my god. And then for me, I did this thing where I just put my hand, I was like, just for clarification, it's like, it's real.
Yeah.
It's really real. And then the next minute, Shane's lifting the top panel and going, this is the motors, this is this.
When building a robot, one thing that we've done with most of our robots, our first heavyweight was Merlin, and we've had lots of other ones since then. We do like to go for a flipper. They work, and robots such as Apollo and Eruption and Rapid have proved that the original design works really well. A wedge flipper just works every time. Well, most of the time anyway.
Shane had shown us the internal setup of Push to Exit, but another surprise was in store.
He was like, right, do you want to drive it? I was like,
yeah.
What? I was just happy to see it, and then when he's like, there's the controls, off you go.
Yeah, because we were just standing there in the pits, I'd finished recording everything, and the next thing you know, he's putting it onto the trolley. he's testing the drive and testing the removable link, making sure the batteries are charged, and we're going, what's this all about? Next thing you know, he's pushing it over toward the test arena, loads it up inside the bay, and hands us the controls and says, go.
Learning to drive and control your robot can be quite a tricky thing, and I'm an alright driver. I don't think I'm a great driver. When I'm driving it around in my shed or at home, I'm pretty good, you know, it's kind of calm and it's moving well and so on. But when you obviously go into the arena, and especially when there's TV cameras in the Robot Wars arena, it becomes a lot harder to remain calm and nerves set in, you get shaky hands and all sorts.
It wasn't really difficult to learn to control it. I mean, it's a basic. The first one was a basic tank steer where you've got two controls, left and right, full forwards, full backwards, very simple. As the robots carried on and we built 13 Black, the speed of it increased about 20 miles an hour. It started to get a lot faster, and we couldn't really do it without a gyro, which was great fun. You wire that in, they were new at the time for us, and you wire it in, switch it on, you go up and kick the robot, and it just stays there, it fights against you. It's brilliant. You drive along, you go to straight line instead of round and round and round, unless that's your intention, of course.
The longer you've had a robot and a drive setup, the better a driver you are.
We did shock him with our driving skills, because, you know, a lot of people, whenever they first get their hands on it, they go, vroom,
yeah,
and then he was expecting us to crash into the far wall of the test arena and stuff, but we both controlled that really, really smoothly, like, you know.
We did.
Like, so much so it shocked Shane and one of the technical assistants for Robot Wars.
Yeah, I remember him saying to you, like, oh, you definitely have control, like, on the button. And I think at that point you're like, well, I've played a lot of games in my time.
I've
so.
played a lot of computer games, yes. Yeah, hands are permanently stuck like this forever.
I am absolutely awful at video games. But I think I take to driving robots fairly intuitively. The hard part I find is keeping your eyes open and having an overall view of the arena and what's going on. It's amazingly hard when you're actually in a fight.
With our driving skills now put to the test, we were back to our exploration of the pits. The atmosphere was brilliant. The levels of support for each team could be seen as the lights at each table dimmed, and every roboteer dropped their tools and ran to a screen at the side of the warehouse to watch each fight as it happened.
The atmosphere in the pits, apart from being cold because it was filmed in Glasgow in March, it's just one big happy family, really.
It's such a great atmosphere, there's so much going on, it's so busy, there's noise, it's just a great place to be.
Everyone always says it, but it's absolutely true that the people in the pits, the crew and the other roboteers create such a positive atmosphere, and it's so much fun to be around those people and to be able to bounce off those people and use their knowledge and expertise.
So at the original run at Robot Wars, the first group of guys that we had in the pits, everybody was they didn't really know what they were doing, and it was a lot of fun, but nobody was taking it too seriously. And as the years went on and people kind of knew what they were doing, we ended up with a group of guys who really, really did know what they were doing, and a group of guys that had no idea what they were doing. And I was not anywhere between the two. I was definitely in the group of guys that had no idea what they were doing. I just remember people like Mike Lambert and the guys behind Grim Reaper. They were friends, and once you were friends with them, you were friends with everybody. And it wasn't so much of it was competitive, but it was a friendly competition. The new series the pits felt really like, oh my god, what have you built? It was like all of the excitement of like, wow, we can do spinners again, and we could do all of these crazy things that we couldn't do before. It's like, wow, this is fantastic. And Series 9, it was a bit more, there was a lot more competition between some of the more serious people. And Series 10 felt really competitive. There was a competitive group of people. And the social aspect of Robot Wars has begun to sort of slide away.
Our time in the pits was almost at an end, but I couldn't leave without talking to James Cooper from Robo Challenge and finding out more about the new and updated house robots.
So we run the technical side of Robot Wars. We make sure all the robots are safe, ready for battle, and we build and run the house robots. It's not until you see these machines in the flesh that you realise just how powerful they are. I mean, you're talking about the competitor's been 110 kilo bits of kit, and you've got up to 250 mile an hour spinning discs on there, so it's absolutely vital that the machines conform to all the rules, that they're loaded and activated in the proper way to make sure that people don't get their arms chopped off and things. There's a very set procedure. We had a look at the originals, and when you see what they're up against now, we knew that they'd just get torn apart against these new breeder spinners and flippers. So we wanted to create brand new ones, but we didn't want to completely do them from scratch. We wanted to kind of get the character, feel as though Killer-Lot's gone away, continue battling somewhere, come back, and now he's bigger, he's battle hardened. You know, they've all really bulked up on weight, on power. They're like double the weight of the original ones. They're far beyond the power and the armor. And we wanted them to feel as though they were the same robots, but they're just more battle hardened now.
So we've got Sir Killer-Lot, we've got Shunt, we've got Dead Metal, and we've got Matilda back. No Sergeant Bash, no Refbot, no Mr. Psycho, no Growler. What was that a conscious decision? Why did you decide not to bring the rest back?
I think it was really important to see what the fans really wanted. Like, I'm a big fan of the original Robot Wars. That's what inspired me to sort of get into engineering in the first place, and how we started our company. So it was really important to get those core robots back. We would have loved to have built a Sergeant Bash at the same time, but with the timescales to get it ready for the TV show, it just wasn't possible. So, but maybe we'll see him in the future, fingers crossed.
And with that, our time in the pits was over. But that didn't stop us from joining the audience and witnessing the recording of the show from the fans' perspective. Audience members congregate in a marquee at the back of the warehouse where they can watch the fights on a monitor. Then they are led into the building, past the back of the arena, and to their elevated seats where they can witness the carnage of the day. The arena looks vibrant due to the great lighting design which extends to the inner walls of the warehouse, giving it this perfect hot industrial setting for robotic battles to take place. It's an amazing experience to sit so close to these fights, hear the machines clash in real life, see the reactions of the Roboteers and audience, and even spot the judges watching over each fight with a sharp eye.
We're sitting up in the audience, and I'm looking across and I see a full body spinner. I'm like, oh, that looks familiar, and I just see this orange robot, and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. And I want to look up, there's Craig Danby sitting in his Fox hoodie, and I was like, I turned to both of you going like, Foxing! And I jumped up going, Foxing! If the camera had turned around, I would have seen this mad guy just shouting, hey, it's Foxing! But
I know him! I know him!
That's exactly what it was like.
So after Series 9, we were really bitten by the bug. We wanted more robotic fighting. So Shane was talking to us about the live events. The live events are fantastic. They're the things that kept the sport alive whenever Robot Wars went off the TV originally. So there was an event coming up, Burgess Hill.
Yeah.
And Shane said, I'm going to that, you guys come along, and the three of us will be Team S-Tech at this event. So the night before was pretty fun, because Anthony came to my house to stay over, and then we would get a lift up to the airport. We decided to stay up all night and play Robot Wars Extreme Destruction on the Xbox.
Yeah, you said to me, oh, I have an Xbox and there's a Robot Wars game, and I was like, there's a Robot Wars game? You've
never played?
He's like, here's a controller. By the time we realised, all you hear is like a bird cheeping, and it's like no, not again.
No,
that's our life.
We always do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open the curtains, it's like, oh god.
So yeah, got the plane over, and Shane picked us up in his van, and we went to the Burgess Hill live event, Robots Live. And walking in there, it's basically like a big gym, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like that.
It was like a big sort of sports hall that was set up, and just seeing like the live arena. This is something that can be taken down. This is something that can be transported.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that it's all built and it's there, and they have their own house robot, and it's constant fights over and over and over again. There's no real tournament, there's no real setup. It's basically bring your robot, we'll all have a bit of laugh. Like if you're knocked out, it doesn't matter, you can come back in the next fight and carry on, you know.
The live events did a lot for the show coming back. If it weren't for them, I don't think it would ever have seen the light of day again. It brought in new faces, new drivers, people who were really keen. They've been too young to be on the show.
We'd also been working with Robots Live to keep the sport going along with other Roboteers and other touring shows, and all that hard work was now getting paid off, and it was back on TV.
Live events, you know, you can have 4, 5, maybe 6 fights in one day. You get to tune in your robot a lot quicker. You build a new robot, you go to a live event, 6 battles later, you've got out all the bugs. You know, all the bugs are gone, you're ready to go again, but you build a new robot, you go on Robot Wars for the first time, and all the bugs are there.
And even like same machines that I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd say, we saw Bigger Brother.
It's a great environment to be in, and especially for newcomers as well. You know, it can be quite daunting bringing this creation that you've made to an event where there are folk way more experienced than you are. But everyone's welcoming. You know, hints and tips are flying around everywhere, so it's one of the most kind of enjoyable places to be.
The biggest thing was upping our driving skills because we were given Monty.
Oh, I love Monty.
To have a bit of a play with, and we were told, right, that's it. You're going in here. This is you controlling a heavyweight in a robot fight.
So I've had no sleep. I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm about to have my first ever heavyweight combat robot fight. Thanks. With all the encouragement that I can get.
It was so hard to control a Thwackbot.
Yeah.
So hard because like they did this thing where they went around the arena and announced each robot and it would come out and do a little spin in the middle of the arena and go back into its starting position. It got to Monty! And I had the stick to go forward. And Monty does this really cool thing where it goes out into the arena and goes bang, bang, bang. Not intentional in the slightest. No. That was literally me going, how do I stop this thing?
Yeah, you had the exact same experience.
Like, what is happening? 3, 2, 1. What an absolute rush! You feel like you're floating on cloud 9, 10.
I'm still on cloud 9.
Like whenever they call cease, you're still going like, ah! Like it's cool.
Like when
it's so cool.
Like they tried to come out going, try to do a wee spin, and the crowd laughed and that, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna die. When I fell into the pit the first time, I stopped. I was like, right, well, that's me done.
Yeah.
And I remember Behemoth turned around and me going, what are you doing? Drive. If you get out of the pit, you can still fight.
Meanwhile, there's me recording it at the top of my lungs, screaming, "Come on, get out of the pit! Yeah. Come on, go on, come on!" Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Did this just happen? That's just it.
That and the fact you won.
I know.
I didn't win. Like Big Nipper won the one I fought. You won out of everyone.
With the Thwackbot. I still remember that when I heard it. Like, you know, like you were talking to Shane, and they were talking about, and the winner is Monty, and I was like, oh, wait.
But I do that one, didn't I?
Yeah, it's that with me. You cut out your entire surroundings. You're focused on the robot.
Yeah, once Activate is called, like you zone out completely, and you're made for it. It's like when you play football. You never take your eye off the ball.
No,
whenever you're in the sport itself and you're controlling the robot, you never take your eye off that robot. After Burgess Hill wrapped up, we then were contacted by Shane again, and he was talking to us back and forth, and he said, right, okay, do you want to be on the team properly for Series 10? Like, as in, the rest of the team take a break, and it's the 3 of us. We're just going to be the 3 amigos.
I would love to be on Robot Wars one day. That's been one of my childhood dreams right there.
I would love to be part of the team in some merit. Whether that be on Robot Wars itself, whether that be on the live circuit, I think it'd be a fantastic experience and really a dream come true.
This time around, instead of flying, we were going to do the road trip, which was basically show up at Belfast Harbour at stupid o'clock in the morning, get on a ferry, and just go from there.
It's a sign, but it's technically not. Oh dear. Off to Robot Wars again. What are you crying for?
We're gonna die. No, we're gonna win. Positive.
We're gonna die.
full journey would cover a total of 146 miles, 2 hours on the sea and 2 on land along the west coast of Scotland. But the thought of finally being on our favourite show is what kept us going. When we got to Glasgow, the first thing we had to do was go straight to Renfrew, go straight to the Robot Wars arena. Shane's there, and he's got push decks out of the back of the van. We've helped him lift it across, put it up on the workbench. He's got all his tools and everything set up. Then the next thing you know, you have to go in and you have to record push decks on the turntable.
Yeah, in the corner of my eye, I just see push decks tilting.
Yeah.
And the guy's getting the shot, but he's focusing on the camera, and I was like, I just went like super slow motion. It was like, no! The table tipped, I pushed the exit, went this way, and we just saved it. And that moment, my heart was like, just, oh my god, this could have been so bad.
So that's our Robot Wars first. We broke the turntable.
We have a record.
We have a record.
I don't think anyone can actually break that record.
And then, of course, like we had to record the bit, you know, like our introduction bit where we came through the fog.
Oh my god!
Like the amount of variant things there are for that one. What was in the final episode?
Like
milliseconds. Why they didn't use this, I'll never know. Right? So it's the three of us doing our badass walk along and. And then me in slow motion doing that, the big head roll and bite you sort of thing, right? And Shane, the second he clocks me doing this, going.
While I'm sitting going, what's going on?
Yeah, you in slow motion going like.
What the hell is going on? But I mean, the fact he's disappeared into the darkness.
Yeah.
And you're laughing your head off. I'm in bewilderment, and the cameramen are just dying of laughter.
So this is day one, and we've just wired this up to the controller. This is my little Saxon button here, and this allows me to control the weapons. So a nice big green button, you can't miss it. So anytime we've got a robot on top of the flipper here, I fire this fires the weapon. Robots get flipped over, robots get flipped out, the usual stuff happens. I've got my little Votesaxon logo on the side, just as a sneaky little Easter egg for all of you super fans out there. So we've just done our interview with Dara. That was frightening, but fun as well. And we've also done our walk into the arena. Again, very fun too. And now we're just basically waiting at the side of the arena to go in. Frightening times.
Actually taking the robot to the arena is one of the most nerve-wracking things ever.
You're like, okay, this is going to be unexpected. Like, are we going to do good? Are we going to do bad? It was just like 1,000,001 things going through your head.
Yeah, like before you know it, there you are, push the exit into the arena. There's Magnetar, there's Ellis standing next to you. You look across the arena, there's Hobgoblin. Madness, and then walk around to the back where you're getting mic'd up and everything, and you walk into that control booth. The rush of adrenaline was crazy.
Yeah, the thing that got me was, it's like, this is happening. You're trying to process all that, and then all you hear is the lights go out, and you hear the 3, 2, 1 activate, and
everything goes blank.
So quick.
Roboteers, stand by.
What just happened?
Was that a test?
Yeah, it was like that. I was like, what?
2, 1.
Whenever you watch push to exit flip over Hobgoblin, like that feels like it takes a long time. Like I pressed the button, Hobgoblin went flying and went into the blind spot. We couldn't see it.
No.
So we thought, like, what happened there? And then obviously Magnetar came along and clipped us, and that's where the problems began.
Yeah. And then Shunt had a wee cheeky wee go at us.
Shunt had a wee knock at us, almost hit the Robotech.
That was scary.
That
was scary.
That was pretty bad.
Cease.
Getting it back to the pits again and just assessing the level of damage.
That was scary when we opened the panels.
Like even Ellis couldn't believe the levels of damage his machine could do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just even looking at it, like seeing the shorn pieces of metal and.
I'm actually, to be fair, I'm very proud that we got it back in again.
Yeah, well, we worked so hard trying to fix
really
that machine, stripping it all down, taking it into the welding bay where, like, Shane tried the old hammer technique.
Yeah.
He tried that because it's tried and trusted. Like, where he was going like, no, I'll just beat it back into. Actually, no, we're gonna have to do some work on this.
Yeah.
Anthony. Next thing you know, there's you with the angle grinder. Like, how did that feel?
It was surreal. Like, I still remember Shane saying, "Right, you're helping me fix this." And I was like, "Really?" And at the moment when I was cutting the metal, he's like, "Right, straight line, cut it that way." I was like, "Oh God!" I was like, "If I mess this up, this could." Like, it really is pressure, because if you cut something wrong, that could be your weak spot. That could be a part that could mess you up in the battle, and then you're sitting there going, "Oh God, I was going to cut that." You know, it was amazing, and then you get in the weld.
Yeah, I got trained how to weld by the actual welder who's there at Robot Wars, also by Shane.
Yeah.
Nice one, Steve. Thanks a lot, mate.
Welding these new armor panels onto it and stuff, and seeing the result of it, and it makes you more invested, I think.
Yeah.
Like when you're sitting there and the pressure that you're under, because you know you've got a set time limit to do this, and if you mess this up, like, not only have you let yourself down, you've let the entire team down because you can't continue.
Yeah.
It can be really challenging to make a repair in the pits when a camera's coming into your face. I think it was the first series when we were having the problem trying to fix the wheel that had been damaged by PP3D, and we were just constantly getting asked, how long is it going to take us? And the camera crew were coming up.
The facilities are pretty good for getting your machine repaired. Obviously, you do have limitations on what you can and can't repair, just depending on what it's taken to machine a particular part in the first instance. So there aren't lathes and milling machines there. But that's where the kind of ingenuity and the creativity of the engineers and all the competitors, regardless of where they come from, comes out.
If you can't do it yourself, there's people around, everybody mucks in. If you've got a problem, they'll try and get you going, even if they're going to try and smash you up in 5 minutes' time, which is all the fun of it.
When we were filming, we actually broke our big LEM motor. Here, the casing shifted completely as the magnets stuck together, so it would be impossible, I thought, to pull it open. But Will Thomas from Aftershock had built a tool which could easily separate LEM motors, so I borrowed that off him, separated it and fixed the motor for the second fight. Admittedly, it didn't work perfectly, but the principle of sharing and the camaraderie in the pit still stands.
The amount of help that you get's crazy too.
Yeah.
Because for Shane to turn around to us at Series 10 and go, okay, well, we need some red spray paint, and we need a charger for this, and we need things for that. Go find them. Yeah. I was like, what, really? What do we do? Go up to a team and say, do you have this and can I borrow it?
Yeah.
And like the next thing I know, I'm borrowing red spray paint off Behemoth. Madness. Like Anthony Pritchard, someone who I've watched on TV with Behemoth since I was no age, handing me red spray paint. Like, it doesn't get better than that. That's fantastic. We're crying robot tears, but they're robot tears of joy.
It'll never leave.
Oh God! No, the only reason why I ever said that, I still don't know.
My brain thought, inside my mind, it looks so amazing.
In my mind, everything is awesome until it happens, and it's just not.
It's just not.
3, 2, 1.
I remember with the expulsion fight, do you know what I was so annoyed by? The fact that I couldn't use the flipper again.
Oh God, yeah, we could see that.
Oh man.
We could see that.
I was going like, right, I'm really looking forward to this now. What are you doing? No!
But I love the fact that both of you are still arguing.
I know.
Flipper's not working. Yes, it is. It is.
Dude, I'm pressing it. Nothing. Right at the end, the coup de grace was the fact that expulsion gets flipped over.
Yeah.
Like you could hear the laughter from the crowd.
Yeah.
Haven't done very well on Robot Wars, really, have I? I must try harder.
Getting it from the end of the arena, putting it onto the trolley, and just everyone filming us and stuff, and I was like, right, come on, we've got to do something here. So I just decided, I'll take my shoe off and throw it at the rope.
Didn't tell anybody at this point. We were just all like, like, bye, and then, doom. I was like, what was that? Why is there a shoe on the ground? And then seeing you going, damn it, I have to get my shoe, I'll just kick it. And hobbling
damn you! No, what was lovely too, and something I never got on camera, was the fact that Craig Danby came over to us.
Yes.
And was like, oh guys, I'm so sorry, like, I'm gutted for you. Like, I full on hugged him and went, oh Craig, hold me like you love me.
That would have been brilliant to see, like, just like, but no, they never kept it in. But it was still, it's a good memory.
No, they didn't keep that in, but they kept the robot tears line in. Oh no.
Oh, that's gonna
Of course they did. Of course they kept that one in.
How do you think I feel? Hold me! Boom!
Oh god, yeah. No, we knew after that cease was called that was us. We were going home, like, and like, we just thought, you know what, we're just going to do something fun.
Have fun
We're just going to enjoy it, because that's what it should be about at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, I mean, yeah, you can go into it and go like, I really want to win this, Like, for me, winning is just a bonus.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you're just there, and you get to experience it, and you get to play around with it, and just have a bit of fun, and like, for me, it was always about subverting expectations. So like, I didn't want to go onto the show and everyone think, oh, he's that guy that just desperately wants to win at everything, like, I wanted to be that guy that was there to entertain.
Yeah,
and
that
just
was the
have
main
a
thing.
laugh.
That was the main thing.
I am building Envy. That'll be back. Maybe that'll bring me some more luck. Maybe. We'll see. Steve and Anthony didn't. They were pissing useless. No, they weren't useless. They were pretty good, actually. They were good. They kept me going.
One tiny loose wire in our receiver had caused push to exit to cut out during the fight, and as a result we were eliminated from the competition. But as we prepared to leave the pits and head home, Shane had one final surprise in store.
I went back to get the rest of the parts to put into the van, and there's me walking along with all these parts, going, oh, it was great, I'm so happy I got this here, so amazing experience. Turn around and push the exits in Stephen's car. And I was like, stop for a minute. By this time he'd already had his moment going. So he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at the robot going, why is it in your car? And I was waiting for like a prank or something to go on. It's like, yeah, it's in the car, we're taking it home. I got you.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, we're taking it home. And I was like, waiting. And then I was like, no, this is going on too long.
So Anthony, did you ever thought you'd see the day that a robot would be outside your house?
Never.
Look at it.
Isn't it beautiful?
Just put my clothes in there. It's my new home.
Usually don't they home deliver things like that?
Nah, not this one.
The whole way to Glasgow, I got myself a footstool.
Shunt got us here. Just duct tape off. 2 puncture holes. If he had hit wire, the whole brain of the robot would have been dead.
The Robotech would have been hit?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Got back to your place, took it in here, and just sat. Like when you've got all the lights down, when you've got all the robot stuff out of the way, and you're home, you're back in your own environment, and this is so like foreign. It's just there, and the two of us sat and looked and went, "Look how far we've come."
Yeah.
Like, this is real.
Like honestly, I had to keep reminding myself that push to exit is sitting here in the collection room.
Yeah, it was just.
It's still surreal now. Like, there it is. Like that's a heavyweight robot that's sitting here as part of my Robot Wars collection. There's no words. There is no better feeling than going from a little boy growing up, idolizing this show, loving it, having it as part of you, part of who you are as a person, like the thing that formed you, the thing that was there for you when nothing else was there for you, the thing you could escape to.
Yeah.
Going from watching that as a fan to actually being part of that, and I hope we entertain people. Yeah. I hope there's a little 8-year-old boy or girl or whoever watching that show, watching our episode, laughing their heads off at us being idiots, and going, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want that to inspire them. I want them to look at robots and look at teams and go, yes, these people are my role models. this is what I want to do. I want to get into engineering. I want it to inspire me. I want it to like influence my life for the better. Give me direction. Give me purpose.
Just the way it's done with us.
Just the way it's done with us, exactly. Like obviously with yourself, Anthony, you're moving on and building your own heavyweight.
Yes. With Greed, we use some spare parts to push to exit, and I'm hoping to get it all up and running. To be around for a while, and then have some future ideas and plans for to make it into an X-Bot. So slowly but surely we're getting there. The best thing about this community is ask, and you shall receive. You ask for like how do you wire this up, or what's this motor, or what's the best way to weld it, and all that. And you're free. You do get that bit of fear. You're they're not going to reply back.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
But then you just realise they're just human beings.
Yeah.
They're not celebrities. They're not special people that see themselves as something greater. Well, the majority of them anyway. Then you get the likes of me, who's like, mortal, I'm above you. But no, like they're genuine human beings. This is a sport for them. This is a passion for them, and they want to encourage as many people to do this as possible. So if you're ever stuck, ask a roboteer, and they'll give you those answers.
We knew everything about the robots, we knew about the heavyweights, we knew about the different weight classes, but we didn't know actually how to build an Amway because the internet wasn't actually that big at that point. That was basically where we started, I think.
We just sort of had a meeting in my garage. We've got loads of scrap, we've got a welder, got a few motors and that, and we says, well, why don't we use what we've got and sort of, put it together on the floor, tack it together and see what comes up.
So the first robots that I designed were kind of rip-offs of older robots like Biohazard and La Machine, and somewhere along the way we created our first design, which was a robot called Toxin. That was the first one that we actually built from scratch and wasn't made of shelving units and drill motors.
When it comes to the approach to design and building, I think what Ian Lewis said years ago still rings true, is focus on a weapon and then obviously build your chassis around that to mobilise the weapon. Otherwise you'll just end up with a really heavily armoured box and then a quite weedy weapon that you can't really do much damage with.
I want to have a variety of other robots. So I've got a flipper at the moment and a spinner. I'd like to work on a grabber and a lifter. I want a bit of variety, a bit of a jack of all trades and possibly a master of none of them.
Anyone that wants to get into robot building really should start supporting Liverpool first. Support Liverpool, you'll go a long way. I haven't won a match yet, but
I want to see Robot Wars go on forever. I can't deal with it being taken off the air ever again. It's something that we need on TV right now because it's something that inspires the younger generation to be something more. You can be intelligent, you can be creative. Robot Wars is a show that, yes, it revels in destruction and the thrill of success, but on top of that, it also revels in creativity and talent.
For the very first moment that I saw Robot Wars and Robot Combat, I was hooked. And I didn't really have direction in my life right up until the point where I saw the show.
There's always going to be Robot Wars battles or Robot Combat battles happening somewhere around the country, regardless of if the show is on TV or if it's not.
It's such a wonderful sport and it needs to be celebrated. The fact it was off air for 12 years is a crying shame. I am so glad it's back. Long may that continue.
Hopefully we inspire new generations to build new types of robots, new fighting machines, and just get your hands dirty, get building something, get off your backside and just go crazy, get creative and build something incredible.
Robot Combat is here to stay. I think that it's gained a lot of popularity, it's gained a lot of notice, and it's got such a core fan base of people who kept the show alive even when it wasn't on air, that I just can't see Robot Combat ever necessarily dying.
I think it really is only going to get better from here. Fingers crossed for Series 4 in the UK, but we've got BattleBots back now for Series 3. And with China picking it up, that's fantastic news. It really, really is great news.
I think the future for it is definitely as a live show. So that, you know, you have a highlight show in the evening, and you have a couple of live fights, and then the final itself is live on TV with like the semi-finals or something.
Well, my view, the audience will determine what the final form of the show is. You know, it's going to be whatever the audience likes is what they're going to get. And just through the evolution of sport, I think it'll find its stylistic home at a certain point. It's still very early.
Sponsorship, live events, sort of televised live events, highlight shows. It's the way that the show should go, and it's the way of the future.
With technology evolving every day, it'd be fascinating to see what could come in, especially considering we compare what you had back in 1998 all the way up to 2018. It's astonishing. And to see what could happen in the next 20 years, 30 years.
For me, it is really exciting, and I really can't wait to see what the next
evolution is.
Yes, it's a very exciting time. So
I have to say that I've gotten a lot of letters and correspondence thanking me for people, or for those that have chosen to go into engineering. That's really, really gratifying.
I'm so glad I'm involved in this. It gave me focus. It gave me something to yearn for. It gave me something to strive to be good at. And at the age that I was, it was perfect. It hit me just at the right moment. But I can't describe why I wanted to be involved. I just knew that I had to be involved.
It's something which I'm very happy to have had an association with, and some influence on some of the people who otherwise might have gone a different direction. I'm very happy with the direction they took.
All I can say is the last 20 years have been great. Let's keep it that way.